Think about all the ways we love to eat conch. Yes, we all love conch, but remember, someone has to go out there and get it. Today we take a quick dive into what it really takes to get that conch on your plate and what's at stake if we don't protect it.
Yeah, but in this type of work though, this work in, trust me, this is work in for the faint of heart. This work right here, you gotta be tough. I grew up like in a fishing village. That's what everyone is doing. Fishing to make ends meet. You know, we do much carpenters and lawyers and doctors and you know what I mean? Different class of people. So that's what I used to do every day, Monday to Sunday, and we go on the waters and we get conch. Over there, now you got to make the right decision so you could make your day count. The wrong decision could result in loss of day. Conch was one of the main incomes for me right now because when you can't find lobster, you can find conch. When you can't find fish, you can find conch.
In many fishing communities across the Bahamas, conch is a way of life. But now the question is, what happens if they vanish? Well, the truth is, conchs are already in trouble. Their numbers are dropping fast, and it's mostly because of overfishing and illegal harvesting. So one might ask, well, just how long before there's nothing left but memories? What happens to our culture without conch, to the fishermen and their families, and to the settlements that rely on the sea to survive? That's why it's so important for Bahamians to throw back undersized conchs, to give them a chance to grow, to reproduce, and to keep the cycle going.
From the time I started fishing up to now, I used to see like we had slowing down like certain areas where we used to go. To count them and we ain't there no more because I don't know if we was just getting them too much over time or whatever, but they start to get scarce and scarcer as the years go by.
And if we let the young ones live, we help the next generation of conchs and also of Bahamians. Sweetingski is a tiny fishing community in eastern Grand Bahama. Fishing, especially for conch, was once its heartbeat. But then came Hurricane Dorian and homes were lost, boats destroyed, and many residents never came back. But the soul of the community still lives in the sea. So the legacy isn't gone, but it's fragile, and it needs protecting more than ever. Take Sherman Tate, for example. He's retired now, but his love for fishing hasn't faded. He still shows the younger fishermen how it's done, cracking, pulling, and cleaning conchs just like a pro.
They can tell you. Every time someone said they bad, I like take them on and show them that I still got it. Just give me a knife.
You ready?
All right. I haven't. Although David, the way from Bahamas. None other than Shirley Nelson. Hey!
I figure like in the next couple of years, like with my children growing and things like that, I don't think it would be more. I think it would be less. Like you'll be venturing further and further out trying to get products to sell and stuff like that. Reasons why I say I don't think there's something that I'd want my children to pursue, but it's a good, you know what I mean? It's a good skill to know, to have under your belt. I raising a family actually off of fishing. I got 3 kids. I got 2 girls and a boy. My 2 little girls know how to dive and everything. They just was asking me the other day, Daddy, when you can catch spark with the pumpkin and stuff like that. I break the conch and chuck it. Like so the conch would just be loose in the shell and I let them play like they taking it out and they excited, you know. So they like it. They like the lifestyle. I wouldn't want to say I want them to grow up doing it, you know. But I wouldn't want them to grow up not knowing how to do it. You know what I mean?
So is there a future for conching in the Bahamas? Well, that depends on us. Because this isn't just about seafood, it's about culture, it's about family, and it's about identity. And if we take care of the conch will surely take care of us.